Okay, so hey y'all, how y'all doing? It is currently 12 a.m. in the fucking morning, but I have to put this out here, okay? I have to put this out here. I have to put this out here. This is coming from your homegirl, your love who's been dating all of her 20s and her 20s. I've had one serious boyfriend during this time, and during this time, I've just dated and I've experienced quite a few different things. So, these are just questions that I feel like I wish somebody told me in my 20s to ask, and I feel that young women should ask to look out for themselves and also just to feel more comfortable and laid back when dating a guy. Like, I feel like whenever I'm dating a guy, when I ask these questions, and mind you, I'm a little bit more direct with my questions. You can do with this information as you wish, but I've noticed, hold up, I'm not sitting straight. Okay, I notice when I ask these questions, get the honest review or honest information, I'm more comfortable with dating this guy. So I have a list of y'all for y'all of 11 questions. Some of them might be a little bit more dramatic than others. I don't care. I just feel like we should be safe out here while we're dating, and that's why I put them in the list. Okay, so boom. Imagine this. We just going I'm gonna set up the tone for y'all. So when y'all get ready to date, you know what you're doing. So boom, you go to the restaurant, or y'all chilling outside a coffee shop. Something small, something like something cute, or y'all walking around a farmer's market. Something cute for the first date, but y'all can get to know each other and talk to each other. First things first, before you even sit up in there, what I do is, hey, before we even, start seriously dating or anything, or before we get started, I just like to ask a few of these questions, maybe while we eat an ice cream or whatever. I just like to ask a few of these questions so I feel more comfortable dating you. Um, so do you mind if I ask you these questions? It's cool if you don't want to answer, but if you don't answer, the date is over. That's basically what I do. And if the guy really likes me, he's like, okay, baby, shoot. If he's not really interested in me, he's like, okay, whatever, but a man who really likes you, he will allow you to be direct with him, okay? So ask these fucking questions and make sure you look in them in their eyes when you get a fucking answer. That's all I'm trying to. This is what your big sister is trying to tell you. Okay? For me personally, this is before the red flags, before any trauma or whatever hell else y'all doing. The first thing you need to do is ask these questions for your safety, okay? First question I always ask is, when were you last in prison/jail and why? A little bit of a background story. My very first boyfriend, when I was 21, we were first dating, and yes, I ended up having a relationship with him, because I was so in love at the time. But I was 21, and it wasn't until our very fifth date, we were just talking over dinner time, we were shooting the ball and everything. This man tells me he went to prison, and I'm over here like, and he kind of like just brushes it off. And I'm like, hold up. Like, I stopped him in the middle. I'm like, you've been to prison? And he's like, yeah, I did some time. And I was like, I was like, for how long? And he's like, I did three. I don't know if he said 3 or 4 years because my brain was so shocked. But he told me he did time. And I was like, okay. And he's trying to brush over the conversation and keep talking. And I said, what did you go to prison for? And he was just like so shocked. And he told me, I went to prison, had this altercation with this guy, but I don't really want to talk about it. And I'm over here literally the rest of the dinner date. I'm over here like thinking in my head and analyzing, like, what do you mean you went to prison, and why am I just now finding out? I'm just now finding out because I didn't ask the correct questions at the beginning of the date. Date number one, I didn't really even ask questions. I'm just over here having fun and doodle daddly doodling. I don't do that no more. I ask questions, and I always start off as, when was the last time you were in prison/jail? And mind you, I don't say why, I say when. Because why or were you or did you ever, I say when, because it trips them up and makes them ask the question. My second question that I ask is, you probably might get the answer in the first question, but the second question I've ever asked is, have you ever murdered someone? And if so, what was the reason? Now, The reason why I put this in here is because I've been watching Poker Face. I think it is very easy for people to end people these days. Like, the world we live in right now is just, I don't know, like, if my little rose-colored glasses and my gullibility is like dying, but the world we live in is wild. You'd be shocked with the answers, okay? There are people walking amongst us who have murdered people and probably ain't said nothing about it. So, number 2, have you ever murdered someone? And if so, why? You know, ask that question, okay? Now, I'm not gonna lie, some of these questions might seem a little extreme, or you might think, oh, she's being too dramatic. Ask the motherfucking questions. I'm just saying, ask them. And if you have any more, make sure you ask them, because I'm just saying, I'd rather you be at peace on the date and just worry about tiny little red flags throughout it and just enjoy yourself, you know, with this guy, than be concerned, like, am I in danger? You know, I'd rather you ask these questions and get them out the way than feel like throughout the date, am I in danger? Like, can I trust him if I'm ever needing help, or whatever the case may be? And on top of that, by the way, while you're out on these dates, make sure that your location is on. I don't even give a fuck if it's stinky, a little stinky. It is stinky to do it, but a sneaky link or whatever the case may be, make sure that your location is on. Make sure that people know where you at, and make sure that you got people who will do something about it if you know something was to happen. So, okay. What number were we on? Number 3, I'm going to talk about number 3, question number 3. If this is too sensitive of a topic for you, I do ask that you skip past number 3 and come back, you know, at another moment in the video. But I genuinely ask this question. I say, have you ever stood idly by or participated in the grape of an individual? I've seen a couple people, you know, I think every girl, first of all, every girl, and I could be wrong, but every girl, and I'm not, you know, trying to downplay men who have experienced, you know, sexual assault or grape, but every woman knows a woman who's either been sexually assaulted or raped, or is a woman who's been sexually assaulted or raped. So that's why, for me personally, I care about safe men around my family, around my friends, and around me. So I asked, not only have you ever stood idly by, have you ever participated in the grape of an individual? Have you ever stood idly by in the grape of an individual? Have you ever participated in sexual assault? No is no, okay? That's just questions I ask. Question number 4 that I ask is, have you ever put your hands on a woman? And if so, why? Now, I know y'all are looking at me like, Geneva, why would you even, if he says yes, that he put his hands on a woman, I don't want to hear nothing else. I was the same way, but I'm not gonna lie, some women are cut from another motherfucking cloth, and they think that they can put their hands on men and be smacking men around and stuff. Don't put your hands, I genuinely believe, don't put your hands on nobody, point blank period, because there are some men who do not stand by the law of, I'm not putting my hands on a woman. Don't, ladies, I'm just saying, don't put your hands on men, but I just feel like there are some men, you know, sis was putting her hands on me, bopping me, and I smacked her. I think that's a valuable answer for me. That's just me. Just don't put your hands. Don't put your hands. I don't believe nobody put their hands on nobody, so I'm gonna keep quiet about that. But that is a question that I do ask men. Have you ever put your hands on a woman, and if so, why? Okay, that's question number 4. Question number 5 that I ask, and I keep it for real, because these motherfuckers are sly. Are you a sex or human trafficker? Those motherfuckers are sly, okay? So, I mean, they will give off information and red flags, by the way, if they are. But I'm just saying, ask the question. You know, you never know. You might get some valuable information. Just ask the freaking question, okay? Are you a sex trafficker? I feel like that's a valuable question to ask. Number 5, I simply ask, am I able to see your driver's license? I was talking to a guy one time and he didn't even give me his right first name. He was lying about his first name until I saw his driver's license. And I said, dude, you're not even giving me the right first name. I've watched TikTok videos where women were stating that they were dating a man for 6-7 months and didn't even know his last name, didn't even know his full name, or they didn't even know the mofo's name at all. So I'm just like, hey, I want to see your driver's license. And I also ask, because I'm going to do a background check on you anyhow. I also ask, will I find anything in your background check? You know, let me know now because I am going to do a background check on you. Will I find anything in your background check? Okay. Oh, and ladies, you should be doing background checks or talking through the grapevine or just researching him a little bit, doing a little bit of research, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Where are we? Oh, number 6. Oh, number 6. Oh my gosh. The reason why I'm uncomfortable about asking this question is because I have a story time to go with it. And this was a story time that I had plans on taking to the grave, but just because I want y'all to understand that people out here is wild and I want y'all to stay safe out here, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all. Number 6, have you ever participated in incest or bestiality? Ask the question. There are some people sleeping with they siblings, sleeping with they cousins, and they don't have a problem with it willingly, not, trauma, willingly doing it, and they don't see nothing wrong with it. My situation, I was dating a man. Oh my gosh, this actually happened early last year, and I was just like, WTF. I was dating him. We went on our first date, and I was just like, okay, this guy is real cool to be talking to and everything. Okay, whatever. I said, this guy is real cool to be talking to and everything, and I was enjoying my time talking to him. We got off our little date. We started texting again. We over here planning for our second date. Come to talk about it, I think it was late at night, and he asked me what was the wildest thing that I ever did. And I told him, by the way, the wildest thing that I ever did was my 22nd birthday. If y'all ever want a story time on that, hey, give me 10 likes on my video and I will give y'all the story time of my 22nd birthday. But minus that, oh my gosh, we were texting back and forth, and he told me, he said the wildest thing he ever did was sleep with someone. And I was like, okay, who? And he was like, yes. And I was like, Sweet Home Alabama, you done slept with, a cousin or something? And he was like, no, I didn't do that. And I asked him, I said, okay, so who do you mean you slept with someone? I said, you slept with a man? And he's like, nah, I didn't do that. I said, okay, did you sleep with a really old woman? What did you do? I said, I'm tired of guessing. What you do? And because now I'm over here and I'm asking him like that because I'm like, now I want to know, what you did. Like, because now I'm getting a little uncomfortable. Like, you over here, like, it's pretty bad. He's over here texting, yeah, it was pretty bad. And he wanted to disclose the information to me. And I'm like, okay, so what did you do? I'm tired of guessing. And I need to know at this moment. Homeboy tells me he was down bad one day. He smothered peanut butter on his private area, and he had his dog lick it off. And he said ever since then, he's been very awkward with his dog, feeling very weird with his dog. And I was just like, okay. Thank you for that information. Y'all, just check with people. Don't be afraid to ask these questions. You don't know what people are out there doing. Just check with people, okay? Like, just ask, okay? You don't know what people got going on. Oh my gosh, that was question number 6. Question number 7. Do you have any plans on robbing me or theft? Even better question, are you a klepto? A lot of people are kleptos, okay? Are you a klepto? Do I have to worry about you by my purse or whatever the case may be? Question number 8. Do you have any plans on selling me or my personal information on the dark web? Okay, I'm just saying that's the same thing with the sex and human trafficking, but people be asking specific questions about you and trying to get information about you. Okay? Number 9, are you a scammer? Are you a scammer? Do you be scamming? I think you can usually tell, if you see a picture of them and they got a stack of money and stuff like that. But I just kind of ask, like, are you a scammer? I feel like the guys who are in the limelight and the scammers kind of look similar. So I just kind of ask, if you dating a guy, the look. Like, I'm not stereotyping and I'm not judging. I'm just saying scammers and people who are in the party life look a little bit similar. So I do ask, are you a scammer? If I am dating a guy like that, I just ask, are you a scammer? If you can't really figure out how he's making his money, he more than likely is a scammer. I'm just saying. If you can't really follow the prints on how he's making his money, he's more than likely a scammer. So I'm just saying. I don't even know what number we're on anymore. I don't know. Next question. I don't know what number we're on. I have no idea. But my next question is, have you ever been evaluated for a mental disorder? And if so, have you ever spoken to a therapist or psychiatrist about it? I have no problem with you if you do have a mental disorder. I'm just saying, have you ever had a discussion with somebody about it? Ladies, I found out that men are more than likely to have narcissistic personality disorder than women. So, to save yourself a couple of heartbreaks, ask the question. Just ask the questions. It's okay to ask. There ain't nothing wrong with it. He's either going to say yes or no. If you want to ask him what kind of mental disorder he has, you can. I don't think that people should be able to disclose that. I just feel like it's a yes or no question. Hey, if you have a mental disorder, do you talk to somebody about it? That's it. That's all. He ain't got to go deep in it. He ain't got to give out his information about that. I just feel like that's information that, I should ask. I should know. Because some people are covert. They don't really know that they got stuff going on with them. Or they are like covert narcissists. They're not too sure if they got something going on with them, but they do. My last question, I feel like this is very important because a lot of these men are DL, or this is probably my 11th question. But these are questions that I ask. This is my very last question. I ask, are you gay, bisexual, or bi-curious? Are you curious with having sex with a man? Are you gay, or are you bisexual? I don't want to be with no bisexual or gay man, and that's my personal preference. I know there's an internet war on that or something, but that's just me. I don't want to do it. So those are my questions that I have. Yeah, I just feel like these questions keep you safe. I feel like they keep you informed. And by the way, if y'all have any other questions that y'all feel like y'all should ask on a first date, or something that I probably should have covered, put it down in the comments, okay? I want us to all be as safe as humanly possible out here while dating. Dating is already a lot on top of toxic people, you know, trying to manipulate you and everything else. Lord, dating it, I'm not gonna lie, dating is exhausting. But I feel like you can cut out some of the dangerous bad eggs, you know, the eggs that might make you sick or harm you, by asking some of these questions. So, once again, if you have any more questions that you feel like I didn't cover, put them down below. Let me know how you feel about the questions that I asked. Are they crazy? Are they funny? Or is it weird for me to ask those questions? Let me know how you felt about the video. Anyhow, I'm sleepy as heck, but I still wanted to get this out there. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.